Guys, what on earth is going on with this WBC situation at the moment? We've now got the WBC president, Maurizio Solomon, coming out and saying that he likes the idea of Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder having a final eliminator. You know, this is, of course, on the basis that Whyte beats Povetkin in the rematch on March 27th. But what is going on? We were told back in August when they first had their fight that the winner of Whyte Povetkin would be the mandatory challenger to the winner at the time of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder having their third fight, which obviously never happened. So the winner of this fight next Saturday, they're still not going to be the mandatory challenger. They're still going to have to go over another hurdle in Deontay Wilder just to get that mandatory shot at either Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua, whichever one of those two ends up holding the WBC belt in the months to come. I mean, this is becoming farcical now. I mean, if we look at the WBC rankings at the moment, you've got Tyson Fury as the regular champion, Povetkin as the interim champion. You've got Deontay Wilder ranked number one. How he's ranked number one, the guy hasn't fought for a year and he got knocked out in his last fight. And you've now got Dillian Whyte as number 6. So let's say Whyte wins the fight next Saturday. He jumps from number 6 back to the interim world heavyweight championship position. But as I've said in a previous video, that means nothing. So what? Because Fury isn't going to be fighting his mandatory this year. You know, he's either going to be inactive again because he's still got current legal issues with Wilder, or let's say he does indeed fight Joshua twice. That's going to take him through till 2022. And now we're saying that the mandatory challenger, whoever that may be, whether it's Whyte or Povetkin, has then got to have a final eliminator with a guy that's not fought in a year in Deontay Wilder to then get a shot against the regular champion, who by that point might not even be Fury. Joshua could hold the WBC. You know, honestly, this has to stop now, people. You know, the WBC are just making this up as they go along. They have no idea what they're doing. You know, they should be setting out a date for Fury saying, you need to have your shot with Joshua by this date, otherwise vacate, you know, get gone. Because it's now been over a year since he won that belt, you know, and again, Tyson Fury hasn't defended his belt. He never defended his last world titles. You know, I don't think it's unreasonable for a champion to have to defend their belt once a year, providing they don't hold other belts with other sanctioning bodies, like an Anthony Joshua, you know, who obviously has got the WBA, the IBF and the WBO. You know, that would obviously be unreasonable if you're asking someone like Joshua to fight his mandatories once a year, bearing in mind he holds 3 belts. So by default, he'd have to vacate because that would be impossible. But I don't think it's unreasonable to ask Tyson Fury to defend once a year when he's only got one of the main 4 belts. But anyway, it just seems like another stepping stone, another hurdle that the WBC president wants to put in place. You know, if Dillian Whyte doesn't know by now that the WBC don't want him as their champion, then, you know, he's either not very bright or he's incredibly stubborn. You know, maybe just a bit of both. But look, we'll have to see what happens. You know, the story seems to be changing every day with this whole situation in the heavyweight division. So we'll sit tight and wait and see. You know, fight's only 8, 9 days away now, something like that. So maybe we'll get a bit more clarity after the fight. But hey, that's all for now, guys. Cheers.